Hello, it's been a while since our last video. On that one, Steve took you through pork steaks. Today we're going to take you through meatloaf on the Gateway drum smoker. We fired the smoker up. We're going to let it go for about 30 minutes until the coals are ready. Until then, we're going to go inside and get the meatloaf prepared. You can use your favorite meatloaf recipe for this. We're just going to throw a unique twist or two in to make it unique for the Gateway drum smoker. We actually are using Boston burger for this meatloaf. It's a combination of pork and beef. It's about 60% beef, 40% pork. You can get it at most grocery stores, or if they don't have it, ask your nearest butcher and he'll be glad to mix it up for you. We'll post the complete recipe for the meatloaf on our Facebook page, which is at Tailgate Guys Radio. But we've used about 3.5 pounds of Boston burger and split it into 2 bread loaf pans for this. And what we've done now is to give it a little bit of a unique twist is use our barbecue sauces to top it with. You know, obviously the traditional way is to use ketchup on top. For one of them, I'm going to use my sauce, which placed third in the sauce category of rockin' ribs this year. So we're going to drizzle that on this particular meatloaf. And we're going to brush it on there nicely, nice and smooth, so it'll soak in during the cooking process. And because we like that sauce so much, we're going to use just a little bit more. Give it a little bit of extra sweet and heat, which is what this sauce is all about. And on our other meatloaf, we're going to do something a little bit unique with Sugar Fire's barbecue sauce out of St. Louis, which has a coffee element to it. Once I get the lid off and pour it on there, it's a little bit of a thicker glaze and gives it just a hint of coffee taste. It's a really unique taste out of one of the fine barbecue restaurants out of St. Louis, of which there are many. And now we are just about ready to take these down to the smoker. Okay, we're here at the Gateway smoker. It's up and rolling and ready to go. We're ready to put our meatloaf on. We tossed in a chunk of hickory wood and a chunk of oak wood. I always like to use oak anytime I cook with beef. Hickory is always a good default wood. It goes with just about anything. So we're going to put our loaf pans on. The second one, you'll notice, has a toothpick in it. That just tells us which one has the coffee barbecue sauce on top. We're going to cover that up with the lid. And we're looking for a final internal temp of the meatloaf of about 160 degrees. That's probably going to take about 2 hours to 2 hours and 20 minutes. We're running the Gateway at about 300 degrees. You also can use your regular charcoal grills if you'd like, a lower and slower style at about 250, 260. It'll just take a little longer. You just want to watch, make sure you have a good meat thermometer to check the temp as you go along. Alright, it's been about an hour since the meatloafs have been on the smoker. We're going to check the temp, see how things are progressing. The probe slides in nicely, so that's always a good sign. I've learned that from some experts. When the probe slides in nicely, it means the meat is progressing very, very well. It's nice and tender. We're looking at about 130 degrees. We're right on track, probably about another hour. While the meatloaf finishes, we're going to take advantage of having the nice fire and the smoke that's coming out from it by putting some baked beans in a pan on the smoker. And we're going to give that an opportunity to get a good soaking of smoke in the beans. We've also had some leftover brisket that we've chopped up and put in the baked beans just to give it a little bit of extra flavor. That brisket's from a previous smoke when we froze the brisket. Now we're going to reuse a bit of it today in the beans. Alright, we've been going for about an hour and 55 minutes on the Gateway drum smoker cooking machine at about 300 degrees. So we're going to probe the meatloaf, see how it's doing. Our InstaProbe thermometer will quickly reveal to us that that one is at 162 degrees internally. That's just where we want to be. So we're going to pull that one off here in a sec. We're going to check the other one with the coffee barbecue sauce that we put on top. And it's showing about 164 degrees. So you know, we're right where we want to be. So we're going to pull those off along with the baked beans, and we're going to go in and serve them up. Alright, and here we have our end result. We're very pleased with how the meatloaf turned out. It looks terrific. It tastes better. Our sides also on from the smoker, the baked beans, received some smoke flavor today. The potato salad came from potatoes that we put on the smoker in our last smoke a couple of days ago. Well, that'll do it for today. Thanks for joining us for this little barbecue lesson on how to do smoked meatloaf. We hope you'll give it a try. And for all things barbecue, tune into the Countryside Barbecue Pro Shop Tailgate Guys every Saturday morning, 11:05 to noon on AM 1340 KICK. We'll see you then.